We turn some fucking lights on here?
You're the tech guy.
Hello and welcome to another video. Today we're going to talk about what punk rock is and what it is not. Wait, hold on. We gotta...
What?
It's the wrong song.
Just opened up a beer.
We can't play the regular
Do it
song.
again!
Hello and welcome to this video. Today we're going to talk about what punk rock is and what punk rock is not. Almost on cue.
One of these days. All right. So, not recent news, but a week ago, what's his name again? John Lydon. Johnny Rotten of the Sex Pistols came out and said he supports Trump. And it's awesome. You know why? Because that's totally punk rock. But his fans, well, not his real fans, but people feel lost. They feel like they were abandoned by him. And you know what? Johnny Rotten has always been punk. The problem is, you left. You walked away. You changed.
Yeah.
You're not punk anymore.
Yeah.
Of course, I want to say there's a difference between punk rock music and then the culture, right? You can listen to the music, you can do whatever you want. But the culture itself has always been about being rambunctious, being rebellious, saying fuck you to the man, being different. You want to go that way? Fine, we're going that way. You want to listen to that music? We're listening to this music. You want me to wear a suit? I'm not gonna fucking wear a suit.
Yeah, it's what's that A word with the circle?
Anarchy!
It's anarchy. It's always been anarchy. This is punk is one of those things that are never gonna change. And if it does change, that's pathetic. It would be like the sky. It's blue. It's never gonna not be blue. Well, I mean, maybe, you know. It's always against the man. It's always the path least followed. And like punk rock is not something for the mainstream. It is totally against mainstream. And what is Antifa? What is BLM? It's mainstream now. If you're Antifa, if you're BLM, you're just a sheep. You're just another person just following the crowd. It's no longer punk rock. In the beginning, Antifa was punk rock. Absolutely, but it is not anymore.
I mean, here's the thing. They have the same... You're not punk rock if you have the same political ideology as Burger King, Nike, McDonald's. You're not punk rock. Okay, Let's look at this story by Newsweek. John Lydon, Trump supporter, leaves Sex Pistols fans feeling rotten. These aren't his real fans. They're not punk rock. They're posers and pussies. Again, look at this sap. 10-year-old me is absolutely gutted that this is what my hero turned into, John Lydon, about as punk rock as a game of golf. Big fucking poser. Look, you left. This Johnny Rotten is still punk rock. You left. Yeah. You're not punk rock anymore. You're a poser. Because like I said, you have the same political ideology as Burger King. That's not punk rock. That's establishment.
Yeah, it would be like, let's turn this into an analogy that everyone can understand. So, you're a 13-year-old boy, and you like Call of Duty, right? I did, right? I was a huge COD fan. COD 4, Modern Warfare 1. That was my favorite COD ever. But I grew up, and I no longer like COD. I don't like it. It's just a lot of bullshit now. I still like the original COD 4.
A lot of bullshit.
A lot of bullshit.
A lot of bullshit.
But you don't see me going around calling every COD fan a fucking pussy loser because they like COD and not Battlefield, and they like COD and not CSGO. I don't do that because I'm not a fucking loser poser pussy.
You know why?
I grew out of it. COD is still the same. It hasn't changed, COD 4. But I'm not calling everyone who used to like it, or who still does like it, a piece of shit loser like this.
Look, Johnny Rotten supports Trump. He supports the president. And look, Donald Trump, whether you disagree with him or not, is anti-establishment.
Keep America great.
The mainstream media hates him. The higher halls of academia despises him. Pedophiles hate him. What else? Hollywood hates him. Music industry hates him. They all hate him, and he's against that. He's punk rock, so that's the reason that Johnny Rotten is gonna support Donald Trump.
That's punk rock.
That's punk rock.
That's punk by definition. Against establishment.
Now, what is punk rock now? You remember AntiFlag? Okay, I listened to a couple AntiFlag songs in my youth. It's a long time. And they were good. look, but back in the day, it made sense because AntiFlag was largely against the war in Iraq. They were against the Bush administration, and it made sense. Green Day was against the Bush administration, and I hate war. They hated war, so it made sense.
That's punk.
That's punk. But
what are they now? You might be asking. Let's have a look.
Let's take a look and react. This is AntiFlag now.
Yeah, but I am a believer of
Hit
them early while they're still with energy and not shouted at by too many rock and roll bands. So
and sober.
Yeah, and I think it's important because I think that specifically the message of AntiFlag is one that we want to be felt and understood.
That's really
whether
gay.
Or not you came from another town, or whether or not you live in Chicago, or whether or not Riot Fest is just your one day
So he wants to be felt.
Destination rock show for the year. I think that it's important in 2019 to talk about standing against racism and sexism and homophobia, transphobia, and all of the bigotry that we kind of see on a daily basis. And
okay, so real punk back in the day would go, I don't give a shit what you think. This is who I am. Fuck off. Punks nowadays go, I want to be felt and heard. I care so much about what you think. I'm gonna post Blackout Tuesday on my Instagram. Oh, I'm so hurt and I feel... That's not punk anymore.
No, see, look.
That's a totally different definition.
Well, true punk was to offend as much as possible. Like Johnny Rotten in the Sex Pistols day went out of his way to offend you. There was a time where they were on a boat in London. They had their party busted by the cops. Like SWAT team coming down on helicopters, they docked the boat and they started arresting the punks because the punks were banned from the pubs. What are you doing?
Get my hat.
Ah! The punks are banned from the pubs, and guess what? Modern day punks now, like it or not, are Donald Trump supporters. Yeah. They're being banned from the media. Yeah. They're being deplatformed, banned from Twitter. And I'm surprised we're even still around, but we're low budget. We're under the radar.
What's more punk? What is more punk by definition? Someone who gets banned, hated, threatened murder, removed, silenced, censored. That person, or someone who is someone who's begging for you and working for you. What's more punk?
Well, see, when they crashed...
The person who gets banned.
When they crashed the Sex Pistols boat and they arrested everyone, you know what happened? Roger Stone, remember when he was arrested by the FBI? They crashed his mansion. They ran inside and they dragged him out. That's punk rock. And we have people... I gotta get this off my chest. You have people like Eminem, and he thinks he's anti-culture. He thinks he's anti-establishment. He's not counterculture. He made a song dissing Trump a couple years ago, and I was like, your career is completely safe. Yeah. Like, oh, so much stunning, so much brave. Oh, he's
so much stunning,
so much stunning,
so much brave,
and he's completely safe. Check this out.
Hold on a sec. Hold on. Eminem. Before anyone gets any ideas, I'm a fan of Eminem. Not the new age Eminem though. The old Eminem, definitely punk rock.
He was punk rock.
Definitely punk rock.
He ripped on Bush.
Absolutely.
He hated war.
Definitely.
He hated the government.
Now, his music obviously wasn't punk rock music, but he was a punk culture.
Anti-establishment.
Anti-establishment.
What is he now?
Fuck you, I don't care what you think about me. That was old Eminem. New Eminem, maybe a little bit like that still. Fuck you, I don't care. I'm big and famous, there's nothing you can do. But he's more of a lefty now. He's more siding with everybody. That's no longer punk.
Well, keep in mind, back in the day when, in the early aughts, when the Bush administration was running a show, you want to be counterculture to that culture. The only way to do it was to be anti-conservative. The pendulum has swung now. I mean, who's in power? The far left. No, Trump is not in power. I know he's the president, but I mean, the president has zero power anymore. It's really true. Now, other celebs want to get on board. Demi Lovato.
Can I read this one? Demi Lovato on criticizing Trump. I literally don't care if this ruins my career. I literally don't care.
Her career is fine.
I don't know anything about this story, but I'm gonna go ahead and guess that it sounded something like this. I literally don't care, don't even care. I just want my Starbucks. I don't even care.
Look, her career is not in danger. Her career is fine. She's not being edgy. Like Demi Lovato, you're fine. You have your job.
Yeah.
You're not being fired. Because you have the same political ideology as Harvey Weinstein. All right, so another one is, remember Bad Religion. Now, back in my day, geez, I feel old. I love Bad Religion.
How old are you?
I'm old enough to party. I'm almost 30 now, so that's a thing. All right, so Bad Religion is a punk rock band. They're prominent in the punk rock scene. Maybe a little bit too bubblegum punk now. My father might disagree. I'm not too sure. But he came out and said, Brett Garowitz says, why you're not punk if you don't support BLM, according to Brett Garowitz. However, 2020 has taught...
I want to put my glasses on again.
Oh my god, I'm trying to read the news here.
I'll read it.
Fine, read it.
However, 2020 has taught Gurewitz that a lot of people who got into punk rock had no idea what punk rock is about.
Dude, you support BLM, you're not punk rock. BLM is BLM is bankrolled by, it's a white cult, for example, a racist white cult.
Isn't it mostly run by white people?
Yeah. You have white people, you have a black guy sitting there eating like spaghetti or something, right? And a bunch of white college kids coming, they're calling you racist.
What?
Yeah, there's like a black guy eating dinner with his family, and then they're like, you're racist! It's like it's a white, like Coach T says, BLM is a racist white cult.
Yeah, and what about like the black police officers?
Oh, they don't care.
Black families.
They don't care.
And have no white friends, and they're still being told, defund the police. You're now like shooting your own kind.
And now we have Bad Religion's Brett Garowitz saying you're not punk if you don't support BLM. Like, you're part of the culture now, Brett.
If you support something that's mainstream, you're not punk. End of story. You could sum this entire video up by saying that. If you support something that's mainstream, you're not punk. You're not punk. That's...
Look at this. People just found out Johnny Rotten is a Trump supporter and are losing their minds. I sound like, what's his name? Losing their minds.
Who is that?
School of Rock.
Oh.
Cello. It's a bass. Okay, you're not punk unless your social views align perfectly with every major corporation against me.
Wait, is that a joke?
It's a joke.
Okay, good.
But that's what punk rock is now.
Yeah.
Bunch of pussies.
Yeah, it's totally switched. It's totally switched.
I just want to say something. If you want to be punk now, here's what you got to do. Honestly, you have to put on a MAGA hat, right? If you support Donald Trump, that's disagree with him, whatever. That's punk. Look, become a Mormon. Go. You know, if you want to be punk, the most punkest thing you can do is find a girl, get married, have 6 kids, become a Mormon, and be a dentist.
Yeah, because that's not looked upon anymore. What?
That's not the culture anymore. The culture is do what you want, go have sex, blah, 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 AIDS, I don't know. Look, if you want to be punk, that's what you have to do. Like that's, I look like Mormons, for example. I'm not a Mormon, but they're counterculture. Like, that's punk rock. I mean, you can still listen to punk, but the culture is different from the music. Punk music will always be punk music, but the culture is different. And that's why Johnny Rotten supports Donald Trump, because he's always been punk. Supporting Donald Trump is the counterculture.
Now it is, yeah.
That's punk rock.
Yeah. It's like where you have classical liberal, like us, and then you have lefty, like 2020 liberals, 2 completely different things, but they still have the word liberal attached. When I say I'm a liberal, I don't mean I'm a Antifa supporting cretin, 45 IQ moron, hissy fit loser. I mean, I'm someone with common sense who just wants the best for everybody. Both of us want the best for everybody.
Yeah, and we like good music, and I don't know, punk was always punk. Back in the day, look at when I got in trouble, the thrill was running away from the police or the security guards. Now you have these Antifa types, like some Trump supporter like brushes their soldier. Brushes their soldier. I can't speak. And
their shoulder?
Yeah, like a Trump supporter like moves past him and brushes their shoulder, and then they say, "Oh, police! 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 Oh, police! That's assault! That's assault!"
Oh,
like, you hate police. You want to defund them.
That's so gross.
You tard. Punk rock is going against the grain, and when the police show up, you get arrested, and you get slapped on the wrist, and you go home. Repeat. You don't have the DA's office backing you up.
Duh.
Anyways, like I said, Johnny Rotten, you're punk rock. I'm sorry, that's punk now. Supporting Donald Trump, being counterculture, that's punk rock. And we here on this channel are inclined to agree. Because we are the new punk rock. Well, newer than usual. All right. Done.